This story would begin at the end of the battle against the legendary Saiyan Broly, in which he was able to put the warriors in great trouble. However, with the help of the fusion, they were able to defeat Broly, but the god of destruction Beerus was very thoughtful, because Son Goku's power was beginning to grow in an incredible and excessive way. That's right, several months having passed since the battle against Broly, the Saiyan Goku would undergo rigorous training, both mental and physical, to be able to overcome each of his powers, and in the same way activate the Ultra Instinct at will, because this was an extremely difficult and complicated training, since even the gods were not able to reach that state of calm. Mr. Beerus, what's the matter with you? I've been thinking about him for the last month. Is there anything bothering him?
Whis, I really think Son Goku's a threat to this whole universe. But I don't have the required power to be able to do anything, because he has the support of the great Zeno-sama.
Mr. Beerus, I can't believe what you're saying, because if it weren't for Son Goku, the whole universe 7 together with you would have disappeared before the great Zeno-sama.
I understand, Whis, but if the useless Goku had not given him that proposal, we'd have never held any tournament. That was all his fault.
But the staff of Whis would resonate, which was a call from the great Zeno-sama, which asking them to come immediately to his palace. The deities left the subject of Goku aside, so at a great speed, they would leave towards the kingdom of Zeno-sama. At the moment of arriving, they were a little surprised to realize that there was only one Zeno-sama.
We've arrived, my lord, but excuse the question, what happened to the other Zeno-sama? Or has he left to analyze the other universes?
No, the other Zeno-sama lives inside me now, since we have decided to create a single warrior who is worthy of calling himself a king at all.
Whis and Beerus were surprised, but instantly Daishinka would likewise arrive in front of all the deities.
It's a pleasure to have him in the king's palace at all, but we have to talk very seriously about the Saiyan Son Goku, since he can't continue to exist.
Exactly. Despite being my best friend, we cannot allow him to put the other universes at risk for his eagerness to become more powerful. That'll be harmful for all of us.
But my lord, you know that if we end Son Goku's existence, most of the gods will turn against us, because thanks to him, they were all able to return. All the gods would be represented thanks to the staff of their angels. That's right, all of them even agreed with the annihilation of this Saiyan Son Goku. I can't believe all of you who were revived want to take down your savior. This would be said Whis mentally, so instantly Daishinkan's eyes would turn a little red. That's right, even the high priest wanted to end the life of the Saiyan, so the mission would be given to the deities of Universe 7 to end Son Goku or send him to some dimension from which they would never be able to leave.
And remember, if you're not able to fulfill this mission, you will die.
The deities would leave for their planet, so at the time of arrival, Beerus felt much more determined to end Son Goku's life. But with the help of Whis' staff, he would realize how Son Goku had been able to access the Ultra Instinct on his own, which would leave him surprised since it was something impossible for a mortal to be able to reach such a state, much less achieve it without the guidance of an angel.
For this mission, I'll need the help of my brother Champa and your sister Vados, who's his angel.
Whis would say absolutely nothing, but after a few minutes that Whis would try to communicate with her sister, it would be impossible for her since she would not answer calls of. Mr. Beerus, apparently you're not available, because as much as I insist, my sister does not respond. I assume that she must be on a mission that the god Champa has ordered her.
Damn, I'll have to wait then, since I don't feel with confidence required to beat Son Goku on my own.
But after a few hours, a big rumble would be felt all over the planet of Beerus. That's right, Champa and Fords had arrived on the planet.
What's going on, Beerus? Vados informed me that she has too many calls from you, so I have to come personally as it must be something important. I appreciate it. I need you to help me seal or end Son Goku's life, since it is the order that Zeno-sama has granted me. Yeah, I know. All the gods agreed for that reason. I also sent Kefla to an alternate dimension. Despite being Saiyan woman, her survival instinct was very fierce, so sent them to another dimension in which they'll die alone. Those Saiyans, they're very weak compared to Son Goku, who this time was able to even master the Ultra Instinct to the maximum power, so I need your help. I'm surprised that you're Beerus. The most powerful god of the 12 universes requires my help. But of course, if he counts on me, I want to see how we annihilate that Saiyan.
All the deities had to head towards the planet Earth, which would be received by Bulma at the moment of arrival, being surprised to observe two new beings.
I don't know who you are, but from their features I can deduce that you, miss, are not the sister of Whis, or you are the brother of Mr. Beerus. But tell me, how can I help them? Do not forget that this is as if it were your home.
There is no time, Bulma. We need to know where's Goku, since the king has completely requested his presence.
I understand, Mr. Beerus. So Sabia was in the mountains meditating, since she wants to access a new transformation. But I don't know, that's what she told me.
I thank you very much, miss. With your permission, we're retiring.
The deities in the moment in front of Goku, which left him a little surprised because his aura was not the same as always. Goku, having maintained that training, had been able to master the Ultra Instinct so much that in his base state he was able to dodge almost any attack. So Goku, when approaching to greet them, quickly dodged the fist of Beerus, which was loaded with a great destructive energy with direction to his heart. At the moment, Goku would take.
What's wrong with them? This is not a simple training. I could tell since they arrived their auras emit murderous intent, and it's directed towards me.
Both gods, without saying anything in the slightest, they launched themselves against Goku, who, despite possessing the Ultra Instinct, was not able to dodge all the blows, if most, but the few blows that connected him were of incredible power. So at the moment, Goku would be sent to a mountainous part, even being dragged, before Goku is able to do anything. Hundreds of blows of energy arrows began to head towards him. Goku would begin to dodge each of the arrows, but being too many, it was impossible for him. One of the arrows was through his heart. That's right, he was at 2 meters, but being so fast, Goku this time would not be able to do anything. But in front of these incredible purple aura would expand all over the place. So at the moment of that arrow colliding with their aura would be completely pulverized.
What happened? These arrows contain destructive energy. Goku couldn't be able to disintegrate them. He hasn't been able to awaken the energy of a god.
But the aura kept rising all over the place, causing a few wrecks all over the place. But the angels with their staves were able to create a great barrier. At the moment of dissipating everything, the Prince of the Saiyans, the great Vegeta, could be seen.
What happened, Kakarot? You being beaten up? You already forgot that only I could finish you?
Vegeta, what are you doing here? I thought you were on another planet training.
And so it was, but I was able to feel how your power is overshadowed by the energy of two deities. I knew that this wasn't about training.
Thank you, Vegeta. I don't know why the gods have turned against me, but now I plan to unleash all my power, and with your help, we'll be able to defeat them.
Of course, Kakarot. I want to fight with the cursed Beerus. Because of him, my father had to humble himself, and he was the one who ordered the destruction of our planet.
No, Vegeta! I want to fight with Beerus. I plan to return every one of his blows.
At the moment, Goku's hair would turn a planetary bright color. Well, Vegeta, he would only observe Champa, who was surprised, but his astonishment would not last so long, because at that moment, the Prince of the Saiyans had dealt him a big blow, starting to beat him up. That's right, although the god Champa has thousands of years of training, he wasn't able to compare himself with the skill on the battlefield of the Saiyans. So at the moment, he was being surpassed by the Saiyan, while on the other hand, Goku and Beerus would stare at each other.
Before I end your life, I want to explain to you why you tried to end mine. What have I done? Even win the tournament of our universe?
There's no point anymore. All divine beings agree on this, since your existence is a threat to all universes. So we decided to end you.
I understand. That means that one way or another I'll die, but I don't plan on going to another world alone. You two will have to come with me.
The battle of both would start, leaving the angels surprised because the power of a mortal had been able to overcome even the power of the gods. After a few minutes, both Saiyans had been able to defeat their opponents, and charging a part of their energy, they would throw two powerful attacks with the intention of ending the life of the gods. But in front of both, Vados was able to stop that great attack without the slightest effort. That's right, the power of both was still very distant compared to an angel. It's time for me to take charge of this. If it were a normal battle, you would have won. But at this moment, I plan to finish this job. Vados, with a few blows, was able to leave Vegeta on the verge of death. While Goku instantly tried to move, he'd be tied by several energy chains, being able to observe as Vados approached his good friend Vegeta.
Your Saiyan has interfered with the mission of the gods, and for the lack of respect, I'll end your miserable life. Kakarot! Please don't let these wretches get away with this. I trust you, Kakarot. I know you'll become the powerful Saiyan. I'm counting on you.
As you are a simple Saiyan, die knowing that the guy will not be able to do anything against us. We will even lock him up so that he dies isolated from everything he loves. Forward instantly, a powerful energy beam was able to end Vegeta's life in front of Goku's eyes, which, despite being filled with uncontrollable anger, would not be able to destroy the energy chains that were holding him. So Forwards would approach Goku. Are you angry? What's the matter? You don't worry, you'll be having your whole life to regret being so weak and not being able to save your friend. Vados with his staff would form a portal, sending Goku inside a powerful blow. At the moment, Goku would fall in a place similar to a planet, but there was no one. However, instantly Goku would be out of combat because despite having been only one blow, the power of Vados was unreal, which put him out of combat. However, in the same dimension was Kefla, the fusion of Khalifa and Kale, the Saiyans that Champa had sent that dimension. The fusion was able to feel like a new dimensional gap had formed. So at the moment of approaching, she was surprised to realize that the warrior who was unconscious was Son Goku.
What is happening? I can't believe it. Even Son Goku's been sent to this dimension. Those guys don't have the slightest thanks to the warrior who saved their lives.
Meanwhile, Kefla would stay by Goku's side, starting to meditate, while Goku wakes up. Meanwhile, the deities of Universe 7 had left for the planet of the great Zeno-sama to report the success in their mission.
Daishiken-sama, Zeno-sama, we've successfully completed the mission, so there's nothing to worry about. I thank you for your trust for granting me this mission. I knew I could count on you, Beerus. After all, you are the most powerful god among the 12. Now, you can come back. You'll be informed of any situation. As you order, Daishiken-sama. At this time, I withdraw.
Beerus along with Whis would leave back to their planet, not without having destroyed the entire planet Earth in its entirety. On the other hand, in that dimension, time passed much more slowly, so that the agony of the subject would be much greater. But after a few hours, Goku was able to react, but he was very confused and with a strong headache due to the blow from Forwards.
God, where is this? Has all this been a nightmare? No, Goku. It wasn't any nightmare. Everything those bastards did to you happened. They have really betrayed us. But if you're Kefla, that means Vegeta's dead. I couldn't do anything to save him. He gave his life for me. I swear, I'll plan to wipe out all the Divine Energy warriors. You're not alone. Since I also want revenge, I want them to beg for their life and end up like they did with my planet.
Both Saiyans were furious with a clear goal to take revenge on the entire divine world. Goku and Kefla, with a great determination to be betrayed by their gods, the beings for whom they gave their lives to try to get the victory in the Tournament of Power, had been discarded as if they were simple garbage. So at the moment, Son Goku's pure heart would change completely, because a hatred that he never thought he had would begin to run through his body completely, which even surprised Son Goku himself, since his body and aura was beginning to turn a little negative. But to his surprise, he would be totally calmed down from a warm hand that would touch his back.
No, Goku! You should not fall into the path of evil because of those guys. I don't know if in some time my thinking will change, because according to me, in this dimension, we must die because of age. But becoming a being of negative energy will not solve anything. I don't even know how you could be so calm. We gave our lives for them. We did everything to make them have fun, and that's how we get paid. I want to eradicate them. I also want to eradicate them. One thing has nothing to do with the other, but I don't let evil take over my heart, because that will end up destroying me completely. No, I'm a pure-blooded Saiyan. I've been able to overcome all the warriors who have considered me low class. I'm sure I could put the negative energy that runs through my whole body to better use. I know I could do it. In case you're sure that you'll be able to master all that power, count on my support, since in this place we only have each other. Thank you, Kefla, for your words. I promise that I'll not let anything or anyone hurt you. And I swear, we'll finish with those miserable, with everyone who agreed on this.
Both Saiyans would start with their great training, so each blow, each sphere of energy, were able to release the hatred and rancor they felt. That's right, both chose to increase their physical capacity to the maximum, since the Saiyans became much more powerful when they were injured and had fierce battles. On the other hand, on the planet of Beerus, both deities were walking around, but this time, Whis was much more serious. Although it was not something noticeable, Beerus, who had lived with Whis for thousands of years, he would realize,
Hey Whis, do you really feel bad about what we're gonna do to Son Goku?
Mr. Beerus, I'm only your guardian angel, so no matter how I feel, but I really feel that I failed as a teacher since I've never taught you that.
But Whis, understand that it's all for the greater good.
Beerus would try to get closer to Whis, but at the moment, Whis, with anger, would grant a blow to Beerus, which would leave him out of combat while instantly the whole sky began to flash, and an incredible pressure would become present all over the place. After a few seconds, Daishinkan could be observed on the top of the planet.
Well, I knew that the last time I had seen you, you were very strange. Apparently the betrayal towards Son Goku's affected you too much, but you can't do anything.
I know I can't do anything, since all the angels are neutral, but I really can't, and if I have to die, I will die for my ideals.
It's a pity for you, being the second most powerful angel, to end up like this.
Father, you can't do anything to me in the same way, since it would break the angelic norms, and if a new angel wants to take over my position, he must first finish with me.
You're correct.
In that case, I have nothing to worry about, since I am the most powerful angel of the 12 existing, and what I am the second I don't think, since even you have told me that I am the most powerful one. At this moment, you want to scare me. But at the moment, a new portal would begin to form in the middle of both angels, so a beautiful angel would begin to appear from the portal, an angel whom Whis had never seen in his life, but was able to feel how his body trembled, while each of his instincts warned him that he should flee from that place. What is this feeling? Who is she? I'd never seen her, nor had I ever heard of an angel with such characteristics. Father, long time no see. It's a surprise to return to the universe of the mighty Zeno-sama. Apparently I'll have to be the teacher of that god that's lying over there.
You're right, Mikoshin, but Whis seems like he doesn't plan to give up his position so easily. So, you'll have to beat him.
Little brother, don't get beaten. Better give up your post and go to the angelic kingdom, because otherwise I won't leave a trace of you. Don't say stupid things. I'm the most powerful angel. No matter who you are, you won't be able to do anything against me. So you better get ready. Oh, you made me laugh. Then the most powerful angel? Don't say ridiculous things. I have that title, and none of the angels have been able to take the name I've earned. Before Whis is able to respond, Mikoshin had lunged at him, being able to graze Whis' cheek, making a few drops of blood fall. But without Whis being able to react, a big kick was able to send him flying, thousands of meters all over the planet, while Mikoshin was fixing her hair. Ho, you really have some ability, but that'll be nothing to stand up to me. You are more powerful than ordinary angels, but I'm the most powerful angel. Was Daishinkan saying was true? I am the second most powerful angel, and this one is the first, but why am I hiding something so important from myself? I hope you have thought about your way to survive, as I have hundreds of years without stretching my bones. The battle between both angels would begin, so that at the very first clash of their fists, hundreds of devastations would be created through Universe 7. Their battle would expand throughout Universe 7, however Whis, despite possessing the Ultra Instinct, wasn't able to give battle that powerful angel, which in each exchange of blows was able to give him some blows powerful enough to make him retreat several meters. Instantly, Mikoshin, releasing a little more of his power, was able to connect a certain blow in the stomach, which at that time of the impact with the planet had destroyed it in its entirety. It hurt me too much. I never thought that an angel would be able to overcome me this way. This is something that I'm not able to assimilate. Well, apparently you've been able to withstand a blow of 67% of all my power. You must be proud, since no one besides our father has been able to withstand all that incredible power. If what she says is true, I have nothing to do against her, since her power surpasses me by tens of times. Mikoshin would begin to approach Whis, which at the moment of raising his gaze, Mikoshin would prostrate his foot on Whis' body, and by exerting incredible power, he would even begin to sink the ground, since the power that Mikoshin was beginning to radiate was amazing. It's time to end your pathetic life, and just so you know, you don't even serve me as a warm-up. You're a simple punching bag. Whis instantly would be pulverized into a large sphere of energy, so at the moment a huge explosion would be created all over the place, causing great chaos around him, while Mikoshin among the fire started to approach towards Daishinkan. Ready, father? I'm done with that hassle, so by the time this pathetic god wakes up, I'll start granting him the required training.
I think it's excellent, Mikoshin. So, I'm retiring, and I leave Beerus in excellent hands.
Daishinkan would leave again for the kingdom. Meanwhile, in the dimension in which the Saiyans were, Whis would appear in the middle of the battle between both Saiyans.
What are you doing, Whis? Have they sent you to finish this off once and for all? Well, let me tell you, that won't be so easy for you.
Goku would expel all his power in the Ultra Instinct, creating a big fuss all over the place. That's right, Goku's power in this short period of time had increased in an incredible way. Goku would pounce against Whis, however every one of his punches, they only pierced Whis. That's right, he wasn't able to hit any.
No, Goku, stop! Apparently this is not the Whis we know. I feel something strange, emanating, and it's not the pressure of an angel as we usually feel it.
Goku would stop, but he would let his guard down. Instantly, an incredible power would enter Goku and Kefla's body, which had left him shocked. This is all my power. I have given 80% to Son Goku and 20% to Kefla, because if I give him more, his body can explode. I have been annihilated by the Divine Kingdom, being against his betrayal. I know that you will be able to leave this place. Before Goku is able to say anything, the image of Whis would appear completely, while a few tears would start running down his face.
That's why Whis didn't interfere. Apparently they were annihilating all the warriors who don't agree with their decisions. Goku, the only thing we can do now is avenge Whis' death, and we must take the power of an angel to a new level. We can't let his death be in vain. Of course, it'll be like that, Kefla. We'll have to be able to avenge Whis' death. I promise. I swear that I'll finish with every one of those useless wretches.
Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of the Whole, Daishinkan along with Zeno-sama were very thoughtful. That's right, the Zeno-sama of the future had absorbed his counterpart of the present. And Daishinkan had a little evil, it was easy for him to manipulate it. But this time, both kings, they wanted to get the maximum power of a being of dark energy, or also known as the demonic energy.
But my lord, are you sure you'll be able to master all that power? This is extremely risky.
Of course it's risky, but if we don't do this, we'll always have this power, and we won't stop being the weakest multiverse. Is that what you want?
No, of course not, but I don't wish to die.
In that case, we have to take a risk because otherwise we'll still be the same old scumbags, and I'm not going to tolerate that. So let's do it!
Daishinkan together with Zeno-sama had entered the dark dimension of the Kingdom of the Whole. That dimension was capable of corrupting any warrior. But if they were able to master the minimum negative power to 75%, they were able to leave that place with an unreal power. An extremely monstrous power, on the other hand, returning to the dimension in which both Saiyans were, they seemed to master all the power of Whis. But this time, both were following a rigorous training, which consisted in increasing the transfer of energy in order for their bodies to be able to withstand much more energy. However, Kefla's body would begin to have various side effects, as her body would begin to expel large amounts of blood, and all the power she had been able to collect would begin to steadily decrease.
No, no, no! What's going on? Why is this happening? My strength, my power starts to fade. My body hurts.
Goku, at the moment of realizing this, he would approach Kefla at a great speed. But at the moment of being about to engage in a big conversation, a big scream would be heard all over the place. Even returning Kefla to her base state, while much more blood spreads from all over her body, Goku, not knowing what to do, he would realize that Whis would appear once more in front of him. Son Goku, this is the last reserve of my spiritual energy. Apparently, Kefla has not been able to withstand even 20% of the power of an angel. You will have to absorb it yourself, or Kefla will die. But if you absorb 10%, it will still be in excess of energy in your body. If I absorb 10% of Kefla, I would have 90% of the power of a guardian angel. No matter what power I get, I just have to save Kefla. I'm not gonna let her die. Goku, with much more determination, would access the Ultra Instinct maximum power, with which his aura would rise all over the place, so that his body would be able to withstand all the amounts of energy. So Goku would begin to absorb the excess energy that Kefla's power possessed. However, Goku's negative energy would become present once again inside.
Son Goku, you and I will become one being again, and I'm not gonna let that Saiyan die, so get the stamina that since our birth belongs to you.
Goku's hair at the moment would absorb 11% of the power of an angel from Kefla's body, but instantly his muscles would enlarge in an incredible way. While his power seemed to have no limit, Goku's body looked like it would be about to explode. However, instantly, from an incredible beast roar, Goku's hair would turn a pink color, while the negative energy became much more aggressive.
That's the power of the Saiyan that was considered lower class.
Goku's power would begin to destroy everything around him, while Kefla had been knocked out due to the excess energy. Goku had been able to absorb 11% of Kefla's power, which on this occasion even Goku's body would begin to be very compromised. Because 91% of an angel's power existed in his body, however, instantly an incredible aura would form inside Goku. A very negative aura, since the power of an angel, he wanted to take over Goku's body, or rather, he wanted to make it explode, since the amounts of energy were overwhelming, but at the moment that all the incredible power, it would begin to take a form inside Goku. A much more powerful warrior, the authentic Kakarot, was able to release a much greater power. That's right, as surprising as it may seem, the offspring of Son Goku was not weak at all, only that the purest divine energy ran through his body. That's right, the original Saiyan God energy.
So this is the simple power of an angel. He wants to make my body explode. It's a pity that I find myself in this place.
All the power of an angel, he was able to take the form of a black-haired warrior. Although his energy seemed that of an angel, in the same way his essence emanated an incredible evil. I'll explain. We are the power of an angel. While we live in the body of our carrier, we never have these problems. But by Whis trying to grant the power of these two weaklings, we can control the body or make it explode.
How funny that is. I want to witness how you'll be able to explode the most resistant body that exists in all this pathetic multiverse.
Don't make me laugh. You're a mere mortal, but instead of blowing up, I'm planning to finish you. Your garbage consciousness. Take over this body and be able to go out into the outside world.
It's a pity that just at this moment, you become part of us, since your power belongs to us, and there's nothing you can do, worm.
The consolidation of power of the angel had launched against Kakarot. But this warrior, without any problem, was able to stop the fist of his enemy with only one of his hands, which left him surprised because this being believed himself superior for possessing the energy of an angel. But a mortal had been able to stop his fist without any effort. You left me surprised, but that's the luck of Rookie. When he was about to mock him a little more, he would be thrown hundreds of meters towards a part of the mental battlefield, creating an incredible destruction for everything around him. Because at that moment, the blow that Kakarot had connected to him contained an overwhelming power. The angel would begin to try to stand, but blood in too much quantity began to come out of his entire body, which would leave him very surprised. What does this mean? This can't be true! I'm the channeling of the power of an angel! The power of a mere mortal shouldn't hurt me so much! Kakarot would begin to approach the warrior who, with a big smile, would prostrate himself in front of the warrior who believed himself to be superior.
Do you think that I'm a mere mortal? Jams, we need the help of an angel. But if the power has been granted to us with good intentions, I'll end any energy consolidation that wants to take advantage of us.
No, that's impossible for you, since you're not a pure divine energy being. We angels are not even born with the power beyond the gods. Kakarot, as if in a flash, would begin to grant hundreds of blows. All over his body, the warrior was not able to see absolutely anything because the speed that Kakarot possessed completely overwhelmed him. At the moment, the angel would release 91% of all the power of an angel because it was all the power that was in Goku's body. An angel is able to even defeat a god of destruction with only 5% of his power. What will you do now that I'm using 91%?
I don't want you to tremble. Is this the ultimate power of a simple angel? You're really nothing but a wimp. You better at least make me stretch my muscles.
The furious angel had launched himself against Kakarot, which at the moment both began to fight in an incredible way. For his part, outside the room, Goku was concentrated, since a false step and was able to explode since the consolidation of energy was not yet part of all his power.
I have to wait for Kakarot to be able to beat him. I feel like my whole body feels tense. If I get distracted, I could explode.
Returning to the battlefield, the angel seemed to have the advantage. So while they exchanged blows, he began to laugh like a maniac. However, what he didn't realize was that Kakarot was a Saiyan, the perverse side of Goku, which was much more calculating, or he was just cornering him with his simple defense, since his strategy was to humiliate him completely. At the moment, the angel was able to send to him the ground, creating a big explosion. That happens to you underestimating the power of us divine beings' energy. At this moment, I will end your life, and I will keep this body. The angel, at the moment of approaching, would be repelled with the simple aura of Kakarot, which would rise all over the place, while the gaze of an opposing warrior could be observed.
Is that all? You even let me hit to feel some hurt, but you haven't been able to make me feel anything. That's a shame.
The impressive warrior was about to say something, but he had only felt incredible pain, which even almost crosses his abdomen. That's right, in one blow without holding back, Kakarot is almost able to knock this warrior out of combat, while he writhes from the pain.
What's going on? I thought you were much more powerful than this. Apparently I had crazy expectations of you. But what can I expect from an inferior being like you?
How has he been able to cause me all this damage in one fell swoop? The power he possesses is incredible. Is he really capable of defeating an angel?
It's time to finish with you, because I have something pending for the whole divine world. But for your pride to be shattered, you have to know that with you, I don't use even 50% of all my power.
That warrior was surprised, but instantly he would be pulverized from a large sphere of energy. The next moment, all the energy of the angel would begin to merge with the power that Goku possessed. That's right, even while Kakarot would feel all the power.
We don't need it. It's not bad to have a lot more power. I want to face Daishinken. Apparently Kakarot's been able to beat that miserable. This time to start training this new power while Kefla rests.
Goku would leave while he had left Kefla in one of the rooms of the castle that was in that place. Goku, at the moment, would start again with his great training to be able to overcome each of his limits. For this part, outside, more specifically on the planet of Beerus, he'd been able to wake up, being surprised to observe Mikoshin.
From now on, I will be your new angel, and with whom you will train.
I understand, but I usually don't train since I'm the most powerful god among the 12 gods. So I don't need to become much more powerful.
It doesn't interest me if you're the most powerful warrior or not. It's not a question. From this moment, you will start training.
But you're my guardian angel. You shouldn't be able to give me orders. On the contrary, the being who should give you orders is me.
Don't make me laugh. A queen like me would never be under the disposition of a simple god. I have accepted to be your angel, since Daishinken has asked me, but my request was that if my god does not do as I say, I have total freedom to end his life. The expression of Beerus would change to an expression of terror, because if Whis had not been in place, it only meant one thing, and that was that the angel who was in front of him had been able to end his life, since it was the only rule in which an angel cedes his position.
But if even Whis isn't able to beat her, much less will I be. Apparently I have no choice but to retrain, although it's not a bad deal after all.
So what do you decide? Do you want to keep your stupid angel company, or will you start training with me from now on?
I'll start training with you, to be able to break every one of my limits.
That seems great to me. In that case, let's start right now. The training of the deities of Universe 7 would begin, with which both wished to increase their physical strength, as well as their power, for their part, in the realm of the All. In the infernal room to which Zeno-sama had entered together with Daishinken, inside it seemed the same underworld, since in that place even the beings of greater divine energy were turned into simple excrement.
My lord, I feel like my whole body even starts to be affected by this great pressure. Even my power is not able to form a powerful enough barrier.
Daishinken, we both meet like this. Even I was forced to access my combat status, but we have to keep going, since we're very close.
I understand, my lord. I intend to try my best. I want to be able to overcome all my limits.
In that place, thousands of years passed in which it seemed that sometimes they were going to die. Since the extreme conditions of that planet, it was not for simple amateurs. On the contrary, they were for warriors who were prepared to even die on the battlefield, since they longed for much more power. However, despite all that negative power to 70% while Zeno-sama to 80%, at the moment both were with the mastered power felt satisfied. So instantly they were able to summon the portal to return towards their palace. But the instant the portal would form, it had absorbed them, and upon reaching the realm of the whole, the power of both of them was powerful enough to make everything shake around them. Even all the gods and angels would be terrified all of that power.
Wow. Is that the power of the mighty Daishinkan-sama? This is amazing. But if it's only been 5 days since we saw it, how did I raise its power so much? Apparently, even my father wants to become much more powerful, but I don't know the training he has followed, because to increase his power in such a way in this short period of time is incredible. All the gods and angels were shocked of the new power of Daishinkan. The only one who was calm was the powerful Mikoshin, since her power was still far above that level.
Apparently, Daishinkan and the useless Zeno have decided to enter the infernal dimension, but I'm surprised that beings with such a pure heart have been able to master the negative energy at a good level. How funny this is.
Mikoshin-sama, do you even know whose power that is? According to my perception of energy, that's the power of my great priest. But only 3 days ago, he was on our planet.
Don't get confused, Beerus. That is the power of Daishinkan. Apparently, he is undergoing a rigorous training, together with the king of all Zeno.
That is amazing. Why do you want to become much more powerful? I don't understand.
Returning to the kingdom of the whole, Daishinkan, realizing all the destruction he had caused, was able to reduce his power to the lowest, being able that no universe is affected by his power.
Wow. The new power is amazing. It amazes me the power that can be mastered in that dimension.
I told you, the power that we'll be able to obtain is incredible. Now we just need to take over all the multiverses.
Zeno-sama, do you think we're capable of mastering all the other multiverses? Since if similar dimensions exist, the warriors must be powerful.
Don't worry about that, Daishinkan, as I've always been able to make myself look like the weakest king at all, although my power has always been able to overcome them, and with this new power, we'll be able to crush them.
I understand, my lord. Then I'll want the day to come, at which we'll crush beings from other multiverse.
On the other hand, returning to the dimension, Kefla, after several months out of combat, was able to wake up since the damage that her body had received had been serious. So when she woke up in the same way, her headache was incredible.
My head hurts, but what happened?
But Kefla was surprised to realize how Goku on this occasion had been able to get incredible power. That's right, even his aura created a silhouette of it, but the condensed power was incredible.
What? How long was out of action? The power that Goku has achieved is amazing. I can't believe it.
Kefla would begin to approach Goku, who at the moment of noticing Kefla's presence would decrease his incredible pressure, so that Kefla would not be affected in the slightest.
Goku, how did you get all that power? How long was I unconscious?
I got it thanks to training, and you're out of combat for about 5 months. Kefla was surprised, but Goku would immediately put his hand on her shoulder. Don't worry, from now on we'll train together, and we'll be able to break each of our limits. Now if the Divine Kingdom should be prepared. And that was how Goku at this time would begin to teach Kefla to master all the power she possessed as a legendary Saiyan. Whis smiles serenely and disappears in a flash, only to reappear behind Ryuk. I have no intention of fighting, but if that's what you wish. Before Whis finishes his sentence, Ryuk turns around and launches his fierce attack towards him. Whis, with his extraordinary speed, dodges each blow with grace. Space convulsed with the fury of the cosmic confrontation between Whis, Beerus, and Ryuk. Each move shattered reality itself. As Ryuk's dark energy and the god's divine blast intertwined in a demonstration of opposing forces. Ryuk, his ominous figure shrouded in a dark aura, moved with breathtaking speed. His sinister left echoed through the emptiness of space, challenging the gods who faced him. This guy's faster than I thought. As Beerus' words fade away, Ryuk disappears in the blink of an eye and reappears in front of him with a punch charged with dark energy. Beerus manages to block the attack, but the force of impact sends shockwaves through space. Ryuk breaks away from Beerus with a smirk, and in a flash lunges towards Whis. His movements were fluid. Whis, on the other hand, moves gracefully, dodging each blow with the grace of a cosmic dancer. This dark power is intriguing, but it is out of balance. Ryuk, frustrated by Whis' evasive ability, concentrates his dark energy in his hands and launches it as a flare. Whis responds by creating an energy barrier, but the resulting collision sends shockwaves through space, shaking nearby stars. Beerus takes advantage of Ryuk's distraction and lunges at him with a punch charged with divine energy. Ryuk blocks the blow, but the resulting force causes an explosion that creates the ephemeral supernova in the cosmos. The fight continues with unmatched speed. Ryuk demonstrates his skill in anticipating the gods' moves, while Beerus and Whis unleash their divine power to counter the darkness that threatens to engulf them. In a moment of pause, Ryuk grins mischievously and his dark aura begins to intensify. A transformation was underway. The darkness concentrates around his body, forming a sort of dark cocoon that breaks, revealing a transformed figure. Now Ryuk has evolved. His previous form pales in comparison to the manifestation of his current power. His figure has become more imposing, with twisted shadows dancing around him as if they were extensions of his own essence. Sharp fangs glow with dark radiance, and his eyes emit a malevolent light.
Ha ha ha! This is just a glimpse of my true power.
Beerus and Whis exchange a worried glance. The pressure in the air becomes even more intense. Ryuk, now in his transformation form, launches himself towards the gods with outstanding speed. Beerus tries to counterattack with a sphere of divine energy, but Ryuk dodges each projectile with ease, moving through the bursts of light with supernatural agility. Meanwhile, Whis stands in reverse, watching the fight with analytical eyes. In a quick blink, Ryuk appears in front of Beerus and unleashes a series of vicious blows. The sonic sounds of punches and echoes kicked through space as the gods and devourer of worlds, discipled, plunge into a frenzy of combat. Beerus, struggling to keep up with Ryuk's speed, takes a direct punch to the stomach that sends him drifting into space. Before he can recover, however, Ryuk lunges at him and blasts him with a barrage of blows. The situation becomes even more complicated when Ryuk, in a ruthless act, concentrates dark energy in his hand and drives it through Beerus' abdomen. The Destroyer God lets out a roar of pain as darkness spreads from the point of impact. Whis, seeing the stark reality, springs into action. His figure flashes in space as he stands in front of Ryuk, blocking his attacks.
I cannot allow you to harm my lord in this way.
Whis' divine energy collides with Ryuk's darkness in a show of cosmic power. The battle intensifies and the fate of the universe hangs in the balance as the confrontation between light and darkness reaches its climax.
What will happen next? Find out in the next chapter. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.
Son Goku.